Yes, yes, y'all. Welcome to Office Hours. Happy Friday. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I love it. Kai is here. He's got more questions. Awesome. Michael, welcome. Great to see you, sir. Instant Connect. Yes, welcome. We'll chat. Lisa, hello. Welcome. Kai, welcome. Paul, good to see you, sir. Stone Mountain, Georgia. Awesome. I think we chatted yesterday we chatted yesterday through High Level, because I remember looking at you and looking at your account and seeing you were in Stone Mountain, Georgia. That's awesome. Leah, good to see you. John, welcome. Dorn, hello. Kurt, good to see you, sir. Jason, welcome. Mike McAfee, welcome. Carrie. Dorn says it's a happy gray rainy day from flyover country. It's a beautiful San Diego day. Welcome, James. Welcome, Don. Good to see you. Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Cool. What is up, Sean? I like that. Sean Success Jones. I like that. Kevin, good to see you, sir. Oh, I hope not. Spencer, Eagle Point, Oregon. Cool. Good to see you. Course Creators HQ with Julie Hood. Cool. Awesome. Good to see you, Jeff. Darren, Lucky Taylor. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Jason, Kevin, great to see you. Greetings from Philly. Go Birds. Jeff says it's beautiful in the Palm Springs area. Awesome. Love it. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Office Hours. Thank you so much for spending some of your Friday with me. I appreciate you. If there's anything that I can do to help out, you know how this goes. Most of you already know how this goes, which is you put questions into the comments and I will answer, or do my best to answer, I should say. And then I'm also going to put in the link for anybody who wants to join me on camera. If you have something that's a little bit more involved to discuss, need some context, need some details, things like that, and you can join me on camera, please do. And we will do it that way, okay? Awesome. Says I can't convert my leads to save my life, Mike. All right, we'll talk about that. Kai, I see you in the background, my man. Welcome. All right, let me get through some of these chat questions that I saw come in first. And then we will knock them all out. We'll do our best to knock them all out. Okay. Can you cover a bit about newsletters? Last week you mentioned GoodBits and Perry Belcher. I can't quite get how GoodBits saves you time. Is there a training in this in your portal? Yes. So I have a course called Local Newsletter Profits, and it is about how to create a newsletter that's a media asset, not just a newsletter that's for your agency or for your business. So I do have that. And I'll just show you here. Let me just log into GoodBits real quick and I'll show you how it saves me time. It's fantastic. Although I do have to say, I just contacted them. I'm 90% sure that GoodBits is a dead product for the owner of it. I don't think that they've literally not changed it or improved it in any way in years. And I looked at the company that owns it, and it seems like it's kind of like a tech venture studio company that they've got a bunch of different software products. So I think they have this one just sitting there collecting recurring revenue, and they're not doing anything with it. And it started to show some wear and tear in terms of there's some things that you do, in building your newsletter, where now all of a sudden there's like these long delays, and I'm sitting there and like staring at the screen, going and doing something else, So I will quickly move from it if this continues. I've contacted their support. I haven't heard a response yet. So I just want to say that. So, if you're considering doing this and you jump onto GoodBits right now, just know that, you may not have the experience that I've had with it for years now. And I will probably be looking for an alternative here very quickly. The thing I love about GoodBits is it's just so damn stupid simple. And does its job, and all the other tools that I found that it seems like are competitive to it are like, they're trying to be so fancy and do so many things that they're really in my opinion. So anyway, GoodBits. Here we are inside of GoodBits. So how does GoodBits save me time? I will show you just a couple of basic features, and that's really how I use it, although I think that there is more that you can do with it. So let's say I want to create an email. I go up here to create an email, hit that button, and Yeah, so this is an example. Is not moving fast, right? So there's clearly something that's going on with this app right now. I've never seen that take that long. So it's grabbed my template for their San Diego that I've said to use. Now, over here in design or content, I should say in content, if I hit add content, and you're going to see there's manually and then there's saved links. Okay. So saved links are things that I'm pulling in from an RSS feed from my site. So these are articles that are on my site that it's automatically pulling in here so that I can use it as content. So all I have to do, watch this. I say, oh yeah, I want to include this article in my newsletter. I just drag it over here, drop it. And again, this is unfortunately, the delay part of it that I'm referring to here with GoodBits recently. This is not normally the speed that you see. Normally it's just drag and drop fast. So it like truly saves me time, right? But even with that delay, what did it do? It pulled over the image from the article. It pulled over the headline. It pulled over some summary content. I can change that image. I can change the summary content. So I can say, okay, it's enough right here. And then I just want to hit period and have it end right there. So it's going to edit that. And then the read more button and the image, well, actually all of this are automatically linked over to the source of the article. So now this is automatically linked over to my website so that when somebody gets my newsletter, if they click on any of it, they're just going to go directly to my website. Okay. So I am doing this pulling content from my website. So that's just a nice, super nice time saver. So when I create my website, I literally just come over here to this list and I just drag and drop a bunch of stuff over there, do some slight edits. It takes me maybe a half an hour to get out a really nice like media newsletter. Okay. Now you may be saying, Mike, I don't have a website with a bunch of content like that I'm going to pull from. No problem. You go here to manually and you can see here, you've got all these different formats that you can choose. So you can choose all kinds of, nice looking stuff. I tend to just use this tabloid one. I like this one a lot. It's the one that you see right here. It's just nice and simple. It's got to focus on the image, which image is so important, of course, in getting clicks. And then it's got to focus on the headline. And then it's got a, big button. I could remove all of the subtext if I didn't even want to have that. And I just wanted to have an image headline button and my click rates would probably go up. So let's just say though, that I don't even know. Let me go to, I'm sure there's some sites that like it won't pull well from. Let me just go to CNN though. And I'm not going to choose that article because I don't want to have any, here, let's do gas prices are tumbling just in time for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to go here and then I'm just going to put my link right here where it says link to, and then I'm going to hit this download button. And it's essentially just going to go fetch the article. And when it fetches the article, you can see it grabbed the social share image, it grabbed the source, it grabbed some sub content, and then everything is linked up to go back to CNN. So if you are just curating a bunch of content from a bunch of different sites, then that's all there is to it. So normally, what would you have to do if you want to create a newsletter like in HighLevel doing that, or in something else? Now, HighLevel has built in some RSS capabilities and stuff like that now, so you can feed stuff into it. So I've been talking to HighLevel about replicating GoodBits forever. So they will get this at some point or another, like truly nailed down. But normally, if I was manually creating a newsletter, I would go to whatever source it was, that CNN article. I would download the image, right? I'd copy the link. I'd copy and paste the headline. I'd go into my newsletter builder, upload the image, copy and paste the headline, link everything, right? So there's just 7 steps instead of 1 step for each piece of content. So it's a great time saver. Then this just sends. I just hit, you can see right here, set subject and send in the upper right. This just sends through whatever email system I connected it to, as long as there's a connection. So they have like a native connection to MailChimp and a bunch of the other major mail systems, email systems. And then they also have like a Zapier integration, so you could essentially mail through anything if you wanted to. So that's good bits. I am, in my opinion, if you are an online lifestyle focused entrepreneur, I will say this to kind of close out the newsletter discussion. If you are an online lifestyle focused entrepreneur, I don't care if that's focused on a local market or a global topic, fitness, finance, anything like that. I think that you are crazy if you are not building a newsletter. I mean, it is, if there is anything that I can tell you over the last 15 years that has been a direct tie between, what's the word? I'm sorry, I'm jumbling my thoughts there. The most valuable asset that I have had over the last 10 years to ensure that I can live where I want, work when I want, and make as much money as I want has been an email newsletter. Period, end of sentence. That has not changed over the last 10 years in any way. Even though social media has become such a big deal, even though ads are such a big deal, everything that you're doing with all of those other things should, in my opinion, be being used to build an email newsletter. And it is something that, unless, obviously who knows what's going to happen with technology in the next 5 years and how we're communicating and all that stuff. But unless something just dramatically comes along that completely replaces how we're communicating and whether or not people are reading email or not, I think that it is the most valuable asset that you can build. So just my 2 cents worth there. All right. Awesome, Lisa. I just finished a spin class, ready to work. I love it. I got my workout in this morning as well. Feels good. I'm going to get my DEXA body scan today to see what my current body fat is. This will be the last time I do it. This will be my second time using DEXA. I've done water tank tests a bunch and stuff, but this is the second time since I got like really dialed in on both my diet and my fitness. And after this, I don't think I'll need to do them again, because I think I can just eyeball it and be within the level of accuracy that I want. But I'm curious to get that. I'm doing that later on today. All right, let's see here. Leah says, questions about fulfillment. What is your process for client revisions? Do you do revisions before or after the service activation? And do you have example contracts? Okay, last one first. I don't have example contracts. Leah, I got to tell you, I have never done anything at all sophisticated with contracts in any way, shape, or form. My contracts have always been, here's what I'm going to do for you. Here's what I'm not going to do for you. If we have any disagreements, let's agree to talk it out and figure it out. And if you're unhappy with my service, you can cancel at any time, or I'll give you your money back, or both. That's always been my approach, because as an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur for any length of time, you are going to get into lawsuits. It's just going to happen. Somebody's going to sue you. Somebody's going to be an asshole and sue you for no good reason. And I have found that there are two ways to deal with that. And this is not legal advice at all. And I'm sure 100% of lawyers would tell you I'm an idiot. But I have found that there's two ways to deal with this. One is to have gnarly lawyers and gnarly contracts and fight tooth and nail and yada, yada. And then the other way is to go, hey, look, I'm actually trying to be a good service provider here. If we screwed something up, let's just figure out the solution and go our separate ways, or whatever's good for you. And if that means I eat some money, I eat some money, because the time, cost, stress, everything involved in lawsuits, which I have unfortunately had to participate in several, is just the biggest consumer of energy and enthusiasm and focus in your life. It's unbelievable. Anybody who's ever been through like a divorce or something like that, and the anxiety around that, now imagine that, for for some jerk that you don't even know or whatever that's suing you and trying to take your money, right? It's not even like your significant other, that it's just not fun. So I take the approach of how can we just make it very easy to do business with and also very easy to not do business with, if that's your choice. So let's see here. The rest of your question though, what is your process for client revisions? Okay. So let's take the example, Leah, of like websites, okay? Because this is a common one. When we did the websites as a service, the free websites as a service, this is where people are like, Mike, you're crazy. You're going to get eaten alive. And so what we simply did, again, productized services, it is crucial that you are very deliberate about boundaries, okay? Very deliberate about boundaries. And you just want to be as clear and detailed as you can be. And also, I would just say you got to balance that with some judgment too. Don't go so overboard that the fine print of your service is like, oh, wait a minute, you're actually not giving me a good service. You're taking away everything in the fine print. You don't want to do that, but you want to be clear about, hey, here's what this includes and here's what this does not include. So let's say with a website, we've determined that there are 7 pages that every small business website in this particular niche needs to have. You need to have a home page, an about us page, our team page, a products or services sales page, that type of thing. So you've detailed all of those pages out. And then you say, this is what our websites include. Our free websites or our $500 website build includes these pages. These are the core pages that we found that 95% of businesses in this space need. Okay. If you decide that you want another page for some reason, so you've decided that, we really want to have a page that's got our pets all, on it, right? Our office pets on it. Okay, cool. You can do that. And here's how much it costs per page. And so then you have, what I've always done is I then just have a menu. So an additional page is $250, right? And then again, for websites specifically, what I've always done is if you want our team to replace an image for you or replace copy for you, right? So you've got an existing image. I would just like to replace it with a new one that I'm providing. I've got copy. I would just like to replace that copy with new copy that I'm providing. So our team isn't writing it. We're not responsible for doing photography. We're not responsible for getting the stock photo for you or anything like that. It's, you've got a thing, we're going to replace it. That we do that at no cost. That has been my decision in terms of creating just like a really valuable perceived service for the customer. And just because it's damn easy for our team to do it. Like it minimizes the risk of them getting in there and screwing something up and us having to troubleshoot it and all that type of stuff. So we're just like, yeah, we'll just log in and replace the image for you. And it feels like such a good concierge service to the customer that they're like, oh, I no longer have to have that web guy. You're telling me I can just like send a ticket to your team with the image and just say, can you replace this image on this page? And you guys will do it. Yep, no problem. Because it's so stinking easy, right? And then there is the scenario where we want a new page and we want your help getting us images, writing copies, stuff like that. So then that's where we charge, like the $250 for the new page. And we say that includes, 2 paragraphs of copy and 1 stock image provided by blah, 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 or an image that you provide. And we just kind of, again, just detail that out, but in just common sense terms. Okay. That pretty much covers like 95% of website stuff. And I should say what we also, let me clarify that because that's not true. What we also say in the fine print there is that if you wanted a theme change, right? A theme change. So you're saying, hey, I have this theme right now and it's got squared edges and these colors and all that type of stuff. And you want to completely change that to something that's, totally different. So we're going to have to apply a totally new theme. Then that was, we usually essentially pitch that as that's effectively like the same cost as a new website build, right? And then what we also say is we don't do any custom code to the theme or design of the site. Leah, I see you back there. Do you want to come on and chat about some specifics? Would that be helpful? Want to do that? Here, I can put you on here if you like. Give me a wave of the hand if you want to come on, so I don't. Okay, cool. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So
There's probably something I'm not addressing.
no, it's just so I guess I wasn't clear about my question. So we're offering the website like you had done in the past, and I'm putting together with your snapshot the onboarding process. And
cool.
So I'm looking for more of like a suggestion for when we do the service activation call. And let's say they get on and they look at their website and they're like, okay, there's things I want changed.
Got it.
How do you do that part of the process, like when you're doing the handoff of the actual system?
Thank you for clarifying. Yeah.
No,
So what we've always done is we've done 2 rounds of revisions. So after we give you that first site, there's 2 rounds of revisions. After that, there's a cost to any additional revisions.
Okay.
And included in those revisions are these types of things. So replace an image, replace copy, change the color scheme, things like that. What's not included is any sort of customization of the theme, any custom coding, anything like that. And so those rounds of revisions tend to be just basic stuff like, we decided we want a different picture there, we want to add some more copy right there, that type of thing.
Sure.
And we just do that at no cost. It's included in the launch of the service. And then anything after that, we do a charge for additional rounds of revisions. In the past, I think that we have most commonly made that an hourly thing, actually. So we just say we'll do revisions at $100 an hour or something like that.
Okay.
But it's never an issue. Like nobody goes past those 2 rounds of revisions.
Okay. Do you do that? So you have your service activation call, and then that's when you open the door for revisions, or do you offer them to like get in and look around and then do this? Like where does it fit in the onboarding process?
So if you're talking about service activation, as in, we also have them using the web chat, we have them using the conversation. So like I pitch you guys to sell, I would do that after or separate from at least the service activation. And so, the website revisions. Okay. So I would get the website to the point where the website is ready to go live. So they've said, we're done with our revisions. Then I would do the service activation call, because it's like, okay, now this website's going to be live. Here's all the things that you're going to be doing with our tools relative to the website.
Okay, perfect. That
cool.
is very helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, you bet. Good luck.
Thanks.
Sure. All right, let's see here. Let me do a couple more from the chat, and then guys, I'll grab you guys from the back room there. Posted this in HLA discussion also, but is there a document or map showing the flow of the missed call text back sales workflows? There are quite a few workflows, and for me, it's difficult to see the leads path. Map showing the flow of the missed call text back sales workflows. I don't think that there is a map or anything. Hold on, let me go over to my high level account real quick. And sorry, gang, I'm just pulling up. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm just pulling up the workflows from the missed call text back snapshot so I can take a look. And of course, while I did that, I don't know if I'm having internet problems or what's going on, because it might be the fact that I have 100 tabs open in my browser. That could be it. Daryl nodding his head like, yep. All right, I'm waiting for that snapshot to pull up, and then I will come back to this. let's see here. Kevin, let me know on this where you're getting those dead links. You're talking about my snapshot downloads, you're getting dead links? That would not be good. Let me know if that's the case. Until then, until this gets sorted out here, Kai, you want to come on board? All right. How are you, sir? Oh, I'm not hearing you. Hold on. You're
That's
muted.
because it's not helpful when I have my mute on. That doesn't work. Good,
How
man.
are
How are you? I'm good. You're good. Yeah. I took your advice from last week, so I got a couple of VSL scripts going. I'm just split testing the ads right now.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. So I'm psyched on that. I have questions written down as always. I was going to ask you about the ads actually. Do you have any ads agencies that you'd recommend to like that? Because dude, you know, there's so much BS on the internet, dude. There's so much. So like, do you have anyone you recommend?
No, I really don't. The only time, and this is why I tell people, you know, ad management as a service is a terrible service, because really the only way it makes sense if you're doing direct response ads or anything like that to have an ad manager, you know, agency doing that for you. It only makes sense if you're spending 30, 40, $50,000 a month minimum, you know.
Really?
So unless you're spending that kind of money right out of the gate,
not yet.
So
really, so you just do it yourself?
Yeah, just do it yourself. Yep. Because the amount of money you're going to spend on an agency, if you add that back into your cost of advertising, right? I mean, for any agency to actually do shit for you, and this is the thing that doesn't get talked about enough in the industry. Like if you're actually hiring somebody to do ad management for you, that person's got to be spending, I mean, 20% of their time, a quarter of their time, whatever it is, working on your account for it to actually be management, which means that they're going to have to charge you $5,000 a month anyway. So if you take that and you add it into your ad costs, you know, if you're only spending $5,000 a month, you've just doubled your ad costs. Just do it yourself and just run simple campaigns. And
damn it. I was afraid you were going to say that, man. Gotcha. Okay. So just like basically learn how to run the ads yourself. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Two more questions.
Use UpX is definitely a shortcut.
Yeah, for Facebook and Instagram ads, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
And now Google pretty darn quickly. So.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. My second question is, what the hell is Yext? Like what the hell is Yext? Like the SEO thing for like creating citations and SEO for clients and stuff?
Yeah, so it's a great service. So one of the ways that obviously one of the ways that you get people to your website is by all of these little obscure services where your business information is listed and all that, right? So Yext makes sure that all of that stuff is updated and accurate across all of the major places where you want it to be updated and accurate. And that also impacts then how Google evaluates how it should rank your business. Like if Google is looking at all of those things and seeing, oh, you've got mismatched, incomplete, old data across all these things, it goes, you must not be as credible as a business that's got all that stuff up to date everywhere. So it's a service that just super simple way of just keeping all that information up to date for a business.
What does it use? What does it use as the command center? Like what does it use as the base for information to cut across all the platforms?
You input that information
into Yext.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Sweet. Yep. All right. Last question, I'll be super quick, is off the top of your head, what are 3 systems that I could set up for contractors? And you're not allowed to say auto call, text back, website, or chat widget.
So I'm not allowed to say those? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you're not allowed to say those 3 because I'm trying to do what you're saying. Is I kind of jumped and I got a bunch of clients and now I'm kind of, going back and thinking like, all right, what else could I add to the
good for you
system I'm creating?
Everybody listen to what Kai just said there, because this is the right way to do this and everybody does it in the wrong order. And I shouldn't say everybody, but I'm exaggerating for effect here. Is way too many people spend way too much time trying to design the perfect service before they sell, when the preferable order by far is sell, get clients, get customers, and then figure out the damn services. It's amazing how fast you figure out the services when you have the pressure of somebody who's paying you, right? Versus if you don't and you sit around and let's learn another thing and go to another webinar, right? So sell some stuff and then figure it out. So off the top of my head for contractors, calendaring would be a huge one, right? So everything related to calendaring, appointment reminders, all that type of stuff. And then I will use let's call it just resell campaigns. So it is unbelievable how poor those businesses are in most cases at doing any sort of follow-up, like, hey, it's been 3 months since we last checked your furnace filter. We'll come by and, check your furnace filter, right? The businesses that are really profitable do that. The home services businesses that are really profitable are the ones that are really good at selling that ongoing service touch, because it's just guaranteed locked in recurring revenue essentially. And then so the next one that would bring up to me is payments. Everything related to payments and high level have become badass just very recently. So the tap to pay on the mobile device is awesome. The being able to, from your mobile device, you can now send out payment requests, send out, invoices and things like that, just like super fast from your mobile device. So you can just pull up, create an invoice, send that sucker out. Like the fast path to cash for those guys is a huge opportunity, pretty much for every small business. Any small business that's a service business that's mobile running around, my gosh, the additional revenue that you can create if you have that and you're talking to somebody and you're like, yep, let me just, here, $250, tap to pay. We'll go and take care of this right now. Like, that's killer. So those would be my top of mind.
Gotcha. And how do you get those guys to even use the app, dude? Because they just seem like they're so uninterested in anything tech wise. It's just like,
the last one I would put out there is reviews.
Yeah.
Sorry for those guys' reviews. How do you get them to use the mobile app? That's
hard.
That's customer selection, unfortunately. I mean, that's, you're in that industry, you're probably just going to have a hard time finding a lot of people who are real flexible, Yeah. And honestly, I think it's just something that's part of your job. The biggest opportunity in this space, and there's a pyramid that I show in some of my training. The biggest top of pyramid offer that you can deliver for your customers is leadership. Small businesses need leadership. They need somebody that can push them and say, guys, I have been telling you now for 6 months, use the app, use tap to pay, send invoices. Here's what happens when you do. And you can start showing some case studies of, look, Bob has freaking done it. And Bob's receivables, or Bob's collections, have gone from an average of X a month to an average of 20% greater, because he now has the immediate opportunity to present somebody with an option to pay, and that creates more payments. Like, so you're the best in this industry are going to get in the position where you're comfortable pushing your customers, where you're comfortable being the voice of higher standards and leadership for them. People are drawn to that. People need that, right? And so that's how you're going to get more and more of your customers to eventually become better and better operators, by taking advantage of technology.
100%. Yeah, dude. And what you said earlier about what you just instead of trying to create this system, dude, I've learned so much more about just saying, yeah, I can do that, and then just figuring it out. Like, yes, I learned it so much quicker. It's insane.
Good. That's awesome, man.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Or I guess for the websites, like, do you if you're doing websites as a service, I know the other girl was asking about that too. I'd be curious to ask her. Does she use or do you use like WordPress and then you charge the clients for it, or do you just use the Go High Level builder and connect it to like Cloudflare or something?
I would use, launching a website in High Level now is just so stinking easy. I mean, there's so many templates and stuff in there now. I would use that for most like very simple, like contractors, home services, like super simple. Just look, man, you just need a website that's accurate, that's created properly, and that has a calendar booking widget, a contact widget, that just has like, that's 95% of the battle for you. You don't need some sexy designed website or whatever, right? For businesses like that, which is the majority of small businesses, I would personally probably just be using HighLevel's website builder in most cases. That being said, there's no problem with using WordPress, so whatever works for you and is easiest for you. I don't think there's a real problem with each. With any. The reason why I would stick to High Level if I can is just ease. Replicating sites, launching sites. Like if I was sitting on the phone with you right now in a Zoom call and you were like, "Hey man, I need a new website," I could be like, Awesome. Look, I just threw up a draft of your new website. What do you think? Oh, you don't like that one? Okay. Here, I just threw up a second one. What do you think of that one? I mean, like,
Gotcha.
it's just so easy, right? And then everything's integrated. All the tools are just built right there. So
100%. Sweet, dude. Yeah. All right, awesome. I'm gonna grab your course probably later next week.
Awesome.
I'm coming to, yeah, I'm gonna use your course. It's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna chill out for a week and learn everything, and then I'm gonna implement a whole new round of systems and get people on the $500, $300 a month plan.
Awesome. Well, look, everybody, that's an opportunity. I'll just do a shameless plug here right now. HighLevel's about to launch their Black Friday sales, so you'll see me promoting the heck out of the Black Friday stuff. And I am going to have some announcements about some cool new stuff that we'll be doing to help you guys here into the new year. And for anybody who takes advantage of the Black Friday deals or is a part of our community, most of that stuff that you'll get through us will just be included for free. So take advantage of those things. They will actually particularly be around websites and websites as a service. I've always loved that service. And I've had at least probably 10 of my customers since I've started stressing that over the last couple of months coming up to me and telling me about all the great success that they're having selling websites as a service. So I'm going to run with some additional training and support on that to just make that as easy as possible for you guys, because anything where you guys are having success selling makes me happy. Like I said, the one gentleman who, gosh darn it, Jonathan came up to me at the Level Up Summit, and he was stalking me. It was so funny. And then he found me. And he was like, dude, I just started cold calling, doing this website thing that you've been talking about, and I've sold 30, whatever. He's like 39 new customers just in the first month of selling. And I'm like, that's freaking awesome. And he's just cold calling. He's like, I'm cold calling until I get to this point, and then I'm gonna start advertising, and like, awesome, man, just crush it. So I'm excited for that, and I think it's just such a nice, straightforward value proposition and really nice value proposition that I think we can get a lot of people to that first 10K in recurring revenue, pretty quickly with that, and then after that, the world kind of opens up, is my experience. People have the bandwidth to start going, okay, I can do more. I can look at other options, things like that. So
you're going to do a Black Friday sale for your agency accelerator course, so I don't have to spend $2,000 on it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude. I was going to ask you, because I was going to buy it last week. I was like, shit, maybe I should wait for Black Friday. Maybe he's going to run a sale.
Yeah. Well, and the thing to do, so what HighLevel has done, just again, to let everybody know, is you're going to have a lot of different options to, upgrade through me for Black Friday or whatever it is, so that you can buy HighLevel stuff that you need, and then you'll just get my stuff for free. So that's the ideal scenario. Take advantage of all those upgrades and prepayments and all that type of stuff. You get tax benefits, you get all that stuff. Take advantage of all that and get my stuff for free if you can. But then, yes, we'll also have our stuff, we'll have sales on our stuff as well.
Is that just going to be automatically, just go to your store and automatically be like, the price will be slashed, or is there somewhere specific I have to go? Because I really want to buy your courses, dude. It's just,
thanks. Yeah. No, I'll just send out links to you, and it'll just be applied. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sweet, dude. Awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah,
Cool.
I'll probably grab like 2 of them on Black Friday, honestly, and just kind of sit for a week in my room and close all the blinds. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Great.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Mike. Yeah, no
All
worries.
right.
Thank you.
Mike, you ready to come on board? Mike McAfee, you ready to jump on?
I'm here.
Awesome. How are you, sir?
Hey, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning. How can I help you?
Doing great. Hey, I just signed up for the SaaS mode last night on Go High Level under you.
Awesome.
So looking forward to everything. Just started going through everything already late last night. And,
Awesome. Love it.
And yeah, just excited, man. Just really excited. I have a small agency here in Vegas, and I cater to the logistics industry. And I just like the way you really present everything. So
Thank you.
there's a shift in my business right now that I'm shifting more to service. So yeah, loving it.
Awesome. Good for you.
Loving it.
Yeah. I mean, if you have an agency, if you have an existing agency, and you now have the opportunity to start transitioning customers to a more recurring, systems-based model, it's like your life changes.
Yeah.
Because now all of a sudden you're generating that recurring passive revenue where you're like, where was this the whole time?
Yeah. I definitely, for the last 3 or 4 years, have been focused on high ticket, low amount of customers. And it just sucks when you lose a client and you lose that big gulp of money, and you sit there and
Brutal.
go, man, I need more clients at a lower price, so when they lose one, it doesn't hurt so bad, right?
That's
So
right.
that's what really made me gravitate towards you and what you have to say
That's
about things.
awesome.
So,
Yes, you're going to start using my language, customers, not
yeah,
clients, and it's
yeah.
going to change your life. And I have to give credit to there was I can't ever remember his name, and I have searched so hard to find this guy. There was this wily entrepreneur dude that I came across when I was very young in my career who wrote this free ebook. It was like one of the first free ebooks that ever came out. And this guy was a hot dog stand vendor who then ended up building one of the largest telecom companies. Like this dude was just a
Oh,
wily hustler. And I can't remember his name, some East Coast guy. But he excuse me, he in that ebook, he shared some of the rules that he learned as like a hustling, bootstrapping entrepreneur. And
I
one of his
saw that
rules,
story somewhere.
yeah. One of his rules
Yeah,
was that he would never let any customer become more than 8% of his revenue
yeah,
because he found that if anybody became more than that and he lost them, that meant he had to lay off people or it meant he was going to have a
yeah.
cash flow crunch. And he was like, I don't ever want to do any of that again. And I adopted that rule. I was so happy. I adopted that rule blindly after reading his ebook very early in my career. I was like, that just seems to make sense to me. And so I'm going to try and only have customers that are small enough that they don't become
Yeah,
a boss. I'm not going to
yeah,
have to like adjust things just for them or get rid of
yeah.
teammates just for them or whatever. And it's made all the difference.
It's very heart-wrenching when it happens to you. I mean, it's
It's
just
brutal.
it's brutal, and, I mean, you think it's great because "Oh, I got this client for 8 grand a month, 5 grand a month, 10 grand a month," but really you're just a slave to those people, and you're their puppet for
Which
that money.
right. And
Yeah,
here's the thing, and this is the thing that I want to make sure and stress about this because everybody I get haters. It cracks me up, but I do. I get haters who are typically other gurus in the industry that are going, oh, Mike just wants you to be a low ticket thing. I have no problem with high ticket as long as you can sell a bunch of them.
yeah,
If you're selling, hey, look, if you can sell customers at 100 grand a month, but you can sell 200 of those customers here over the next 6 months so that you have, distribution of your revenue across all those customers, I'm all for it, man. Sell $1
yeah,
million a month, sell whatever you can. I love big numbers. Awesome. Right. As long as you can sell a bunch of them. If you're selling me that I can sell $1 million a month and you can only get 3 clients, and now you've built up a staff of people that have to support that and their lives depend on it, and their livelihoods and their benefits and all that depend on it. And now you're just, like you said, just a slave to these 3 customers. That's not a fun business. I can tell you
no,
right now. It never
no,
will be.
it's not even funny. Like, you could be on vacation and one of them calls and says, "Jump." Yeah, well, it
Right.
happened to me. I was down in Yosemite last month with the family, and one of them called right when we were trying to enjoy something, and "You gotta jump." And I'm like, "Shit, I gotta get off
Yeah.
the phone and go back to the cabin and do some
Right.
work."
Right.
It's like, what is going on? So the focus this year is to, as put service, the business model of that is change our business model for 2024, put packages together, like I said, Upex. I'm using Upex also. I think it's
Cool.
a it's a great product, man.
Yeah, it is.
In fact, I want to look forward to meeting Sam. My son just moved up to Boise, and I told Sam, "Hey, my kid just moved to Boise." He's like, "You got to come eat lunch with us." So, anyways,
Sam's a great guy. One of my favorite
super
people in
guy,
the industry.
yeah,
Really straight shooter.
nicest guy ever, man. So, anyways, long story short, you know, through the holidays, between now and the holidays, put a package together and just go and sell the hell out of it. Get many
Awesome.
instead of 3 or 4 high tickets. I'm going to reduce that price down to probably $9.97 a month for a go high level small package with Upex bolted to it, and then
Awesome.
just go out and sell the crap out of it.
Well, welcome.
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing you transition the model, and of course, keep me posted. Anything I can do
yeah,
to
oh,
help.
I will. I'm diehard Mike Cooch right now, so
Awesome. I love it.
Billie Jean style.
I love it. Yeah. Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah. I'll be in San Diego actually, in April for his graduation, Billie Jean's graduation party.
Oh,
Maybe I'll
cool.
have to say
I,
hi.
I'm sure. I'm sure I'll see you there. I always
Yeah,
go.
yeah. My wife and I have become to like San Diego a lot, so it's a nice little hangout.
It's a hard place not to like.
Yeah. So, and from
Awesome.
Vegas,
Thank
it's
you,
only
Mike.
like 20-minute flight and just you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Awesome.
anyways,
Thank you, sir.
thanks, man.
All right. Daryl, you ready? How are you, sir? Oh, you're on mute. Yeah.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I actually have one question, but the one thing I want to check with you is, Mike, I joined up with, I went to SaaS mode on October
Yeah.
30th.
Okay.
And I've been sending you messages, but I think I keep getting your AI bot responses.
Yes, I know you do.
And so Sean Clark had a senior support person put me into your system on Wednesday. So it should be there
Okay.
now. So I want to.
I will make sure as soon as we're done with the call, I will make sure and jump over there and look at things and add you to the programs and stuff.
All right. And just so you know, I just put my email address in the chat.
Okay, cool. Your
So
last name isn't it Hamill? It's Hamel or something like that.
you got it.
Yeah, cool. I got you. I'll get you taken care of.
All right. So here's my question. I like a lot of people like yourself. Like, you're my favorite so far out of everybody because you talk about getting out of the old agency model.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a big fan of like Ali. I'm a big fan of who was recently on.
Allie's awesome.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but the Go High Level just did 3 days with another guy I like a lot too, and they're like more like traditional ad agency, right? Doing things like that. So here's what I'm trying to transition to, and this is maybe something I would love to get your feedback on. I'm having a hard time when you're like, I think it was Mike that was just on there, and he's saying like $10,000 clients. So like you're talking about, I want to sell the system. I want to get you on the system. Like that's what I'm trying to sell. So my current clients, I'm transitioning over to the system.
Yeah.
And to give everybody an idea of where my head's at, like I know it's like 197, 297, 497. Well, my starting's 189. And my highest is at 779. And I'm actually thinking of bumping that. But the way I'm looking at it, Mike, is I'm thinking that it's going to be me that's going to be the differentiator because I know so much about marketing. So part of this package, I'm thinking of like doing weekly calls, almost like what you do with open office hours. So that being the big sell.
Absolutely.
My question for you is this. How do I try to scale this by going? So right now I have a plumber, I have a landscaper. I mean, I have a dentist, I have an HVAC guy. It's like all over the board. Do I try to niche down? And if I do, I'm thinking of going into a more recession resistant industry like cosmetic surgery, dentistry, maybe holistic wellness, right? Because the things that are going to persist in the future that AI can't take over are going to be like vanity things, right? It's like, you want your teeth fixed, like AI is not going to do that. You need somebody to do it, right? So as we get more veins, so how do I try to work this as a system and then move it to as many people? Because then that sounds to me like I have to go nationwide, whereas I'm really in the Tampa Bay. I'm in my local market, selling these. So then is that like part of a transition to what you're saying?
Yeah. So the cool thing, so I have always been, Daryl, a focus on a niche guy. And the reason why is because of all the obvious benefits of now your service delivery becomes completely cookie cutter. And then the other major benefit is channels. So there is nothing that will accelerate your sales faster than an existing channel that you can tap into. So that was the big breakthrough for me in growing my business really, really fast, was when I realized, oh, wow, if I focus on a niche, I can then tap into an existing channel and I can get explosive growth. Okay. So if you are focused just on chiropractors, then you can go to the Chiropractic Association. You can go to the major schools of chiropractic. You can run ads in the chiropractic newsletters that already exist and already have 70,000 chiropractors as subscribers. So those channels allow you to get massive exposure really, really quickly usually at a price that really makes sense. It just, it just makes awesome economic sense. So now that has been a strategy that has been absolutely tapped into and run with by everybody in the, I mean, I've been talking about that for 12 years. Josh Nelson, who was a very early student of mine, when he was doing like 20 grand a month, he took that strategy and ran with it and has executed it brilliantly. And he's been teaching it now, so like it's a strategy that has been really executed on in so many niches really well by certain players that you have to look at it and go, okay, is there room for me to have a new voice, a new angle? Because the thing that sucks is to go into a niche and then be number 4, number 5, right? You want to be number 1, 2, or 3 in a niche. So now in the small business space, there are still lots of niches that do not have a 1, 2, or 3, right? They have no brand recognition yet, really. So you can go in there and you can leapfrog them. So you just have to look at that and be thoughtful about that. But then yes, you're going to have to sell either, at least like super regionally, but nationwide better. There's no problem with that at all, because you just sell over the phone, you deliver over the phone, it's all Zoom meetings and stuff now anyway. So it really doesn't matter. But yeah, your marketing then goes nationwide, or at least, like I said, super regional, that type of thing. High level, for the first time in 10 years, at least, I have changed my tune to say, hey, you don't have to niche. You can just sell in your local market and sell to multiple industries, be more general. And the reason why is because they've made it so damn easy. I can jump into High Level right now and I can launch a chiropractic website or a restaurant website or a landscaper website, like, so easily. There's very, very, very little that's unique between a landscaper and a chiropractor that, for me, and it sounds like maybe for you, Daryl, you have this confidence too. And not everybody has this confidence because they don't have the experience that we do. And I can say confidently for myself, I have enough experience that if you have me talk to a chiropractor right now, or a landscaper right now, or a restaurant right now, I can deliver an effective knowledge transfer pitch to them about here's how you be successful with your marketing. And I can deliver services with minor modification. It might take me a little bit of behind the scenes hustle to go, okay, these chiropractors really need some adjustments on the calendar side for their bookings versus what a landscaper does. And so I need to figure that out, but it's not going to take me too long to figure it out. And it'll be behind the scenes. And so those customers won't know and won't care. So if you're at that point, if you can think in terms of frameworks, like my 5F framework applies to every damn business. And so I know I can set up a service system based on that framework that works for any industry. If you're at that point, High Level makes it really, really, really easy to just go, hey, I'm going to deliver incredible value no matter what industry I sign up. So that's kind of up for you to figure out there, Daryl.
Yeah.
You can go either way. What I'm now recommending for most people is that you start locally, you be flexible, you work at that framework level so you can take on as many customers as you can in a variety of industries. And then you will probably find a situation where you go, oh man, turns out garbage can rentals is some niche I didn't even know about, and I'm crushing it. And it turns out that's actually a big industry and nobody's doing garbage can rentals. So you get this behind the scenes niche where all of a sudden you jump to $5 million in recurring revenue in that niche. And you're like, okay, that was cool. I'll take that.
Yeah.
And then you run with it. But there's nothing better than getting out into the market and tasting, real success from customers to determine what niche you're going to go after and why and all that. So, that's my recommendation in most cases these days.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then. I'll continue going down this and maybe I'll just get a customer in each of those 3 niches that I talked about and just kind of see who I like. And I just want to say Michael Marquez is right. It was Adam Earhart. That's who it was.
Oh, cool. And then let me say, the mistake that I then see people do, and I it doesn't sound to me like you would make this mistake, but let me just go ahead and throw it out there, is that the mistake that people then make is they go, oh, I'm going to put up a chiropractic agency. And then I'm going to put up a plumbing agency. So they try and like literally divide their marketing efforts on these 3 different niches by trying to present themselves as, I'm just a chiropractic agency, I'm just a landscaper agency. And so they're like literally replicating all of their effort. They're distributing their financial investment in marketing across like 3 totally different campaigns and all that stuff. Don't do that. You can't do that. You don't have the firepower to do that. I promise you.
Yeah.
Right. So
Mike, what I'm going to
do,
stick with is just, I actually chose an agency name when I started my agency this year. It's just best known wins.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm just going to roll that across like everybody, because
right. And see, and so
no matter
that's,
what industry you're in.
and that's awesome, because that's such a great message that you can take out to anybody in any market. And you can say, hey, look, the best known wins. I understand you think you're the best landscaper in the world, but the best known wins. Here's why.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you can take that, you can make that universal. You can speak to people with universal messages like that. Are there going to be some losses that you're going to experience? Because some prospects are going to go, well, yeah, but this guy has a chiropractic only website, so I'm going to go with him. Yes, you're going to experience some of those losses. Don't freak out. Don't overinvest in trying to be, the custom message for everybody. Run with your message, get those wins. And then when you have more resources, you can decide if you want to, get more specific. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Daryl. Good luck. I'll get you taken care of, and then just keep me posted. Okay. Awesome. Kurt, you ready to come on board? How's it going, sir?
Hey, pretty good. Yourself?
Good. How can I help you?
Hey, I had the question a little earlier about the mapping the whole processes out and the workflows and everything. And it's just a little confusing. I mean, I'm going through and kind of following the links myself and figuring out where they go and trying to write it down. I just thought I'd ask and see if you've got that all written out. I made a reference in the HLE group.
Yes,
about
you're talking about
Extendleys. Yeah. And how like I've loaded a number of snapshots. I also had a previous question. It's like, how do you unload a snapshot? You can't do it because I've just got so much stuff in there. And I think there's crossover.
So Kurt, this is why I tell everybody, this is a best practice, is always load new snapshots into a dummy account first, look at them, play with them, and then go, okay, I want to load all of that into my real account or pieces of it into my real account because now I understand what's there. Always put new snapshots into a dummy account first. Okay. That goes
I've been
mine,
doing that
for anybody's. And I know that sounds like it's a lesson that's a little too late for you, but
I started doing it now, but I've kind of weeded out some of this stuff. But on yours, it's like the example I gave in the HL group was like Extendly. I had a snapshot from them, and they've got a Miro board, and they're like, hey, here, when someone does this, here's the paths they take for these different workflows, and it's kind of cool,
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and I know I come from using Active Campaign, and they had a feature similar to that. Like you could just follow people's path, and that's why I was asking if you had anything written out or a Miro type board that showed where people are going, because like some of the landing pages, like the Miss Call Text Back landing page, then you have the sales page, pretty similar. I don't think I really need both of them, so they've got one of them just a little more extensive on the content. And I was wondering why the first one was in there. It's like, I was wondering, okay, if these people following down this path, they get in the workflow, are they going to be sent back to that page at some point?
Got it. Okay. So, excuse me. So first, let me say a couple of things. One, this workflow was built, last updated in March. And so, as you know, there's been all kinds of things that have happened in the world of HighLevel's since then. So there's definitely going to be things in HighLevel that I'm not taking advantage of in here, or maybe a little bit outdated in here and things like that. So that's just unfortunate reality of how fast HighLevel moves and how long it takes me to respond and all that type of stuff. So to some extent, I expect everybody to go through my workflows and think of them as a foundation, but that you should be going through, looking at them, using your judgment, making sure you understand them before you apply them, and whatever modifications you want to make. So that being said, let me tell you the way that I approach building workflows and the assets that I give you, so that maybe it'll help a little bit. So one is that I I separate everything in my workflows as much as possible to keep the workflows simple and with a singular focus, and then move somebody to the next workflow. So leads, filter, missed call, text back. So I'm sending an email where I'm saying, hey, missed calls, is that a problem for you? If it is, click this. And when you click that, it's going to take you to the next workflow. Or if you make it through this and you don't respond, I'm going to say, okay, you weren't interested in that service, and I'm going to kick you out of this messaging sequence. But it's like singular focus. So that workflow in particular is 100% just about trying to get somebody to raise their hand. And this is somebody that's already on my list. So let's say I've got 10,000 subscribers on my list, and I want to send them an email saying, hey, are missed calls a problem for you? Or do you realize missed calls are a problem for you? Because if they are, then click this link and I'll be able to tell you more about how we can solve that for you. So anybody who clicks on that link will then be moved to, and that's why they're numbered, is they will then be moved to number 2. So this one, in this particular case, they opted in for a lead magnet. So that came in from a cold ad. In this particular case, they probably just clicked on the link in my email campaign. And now I'm doing the chase formula. The chase formula is, you clicked on something, or you filled out a form, or whatever. I'm now going to pursue you aggressively because speed to lead matters. And so I'm coming at you with a full sequence here to try and get you to actually engage in a conversation with me and hopefully make a sale. So again, singular focus. And I'm just moving you through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In terms of like the assets that I give you. So like you mentioned the sales page versus the sales funnel landing page. You are absolutely correct. Do you need both of those? No. This is to just give you the option, if you want, though, of being able to drive somebody from traffic more to like a specific type of page versus sending everybody to a more general sales page. So a landing page will typically, because of its design and its simplicity and its limited options and all that stuff, will convert more highly from a paid traffic campaign than a sales page will. That tends to have more information and be a little more thorough. But that also just people's brains, when they have more information and are more thorough, they tend to not take as much action immediately because they sit there and read and consume information. So it's just designed to give you those options. Do you have to use all those options? Absolutely not. And that's up to you. For me personally, if I was driving somebody from cold traffic, I would send them to a landing page. And then when I was doing any sort of follow-up with them, I'd send them to the full sales page or to the plans page, where I would be then giving them more information after I had initially got their attention, got the lead. Then I'm sending them to the more thorough pages after that to try and get them to the point where, we're actually going to get them to convert. So that's just addressing hopefully the couple things that I heard you mention.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Anything else specific I can try and address in these?
Well, yeah. So kind of related to the one workflow with the lead magnet, are you using, I couldn't find any lead magnet that you were providing. So I was a little confused. I didn't know if that was just something we throw in there. I mean, I've got tons of them, or I could create one, but did you have one attached to that?
No, I don't think
okay.
that there, and I can't remember on this call text back. I don't think that there was a specific like lead magnet per se. I think I'm just using that as a little bit of just kind of just general language for, hey, we're trying to attract somebody and get a lead, but also 2, if you developed any sort of lead magnet, that's where you would use it, that type of thing.
Okay.
And with missed call text back, though, I'm pretty sure that that's where we have the demo workflow, right? So let me go back to the workflows. Yeah. So this is the lead magnet, essentially.
Okay.
Is the demo workflow. So it's like, hey, you want to see how this works? Call this number right now.
Yeah.
Right. So that's giving you the ability to then do a real demo for them.
Okay, cool. Okay. No, I appreciate that. That gives me a little more clarity with that. I had another
Sure.
question, if you have time, real
Of
quickly,
course.
and it had to do with the pricing. I mean, I put my packages together. I've got a nice upgrade path. They get in one, they can step up to the next, and then get them into more of the full plans.
Yep.
The problem I have is that with high level and their SaaS configuration, there's some services on there that I don't want on my base plan, but you can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
So is that, I mean, should I just have to manually go into each new client and just make sure they can't view those things?
It kind of just is what it is. I mean, what you can do is you have a few options here. So one, you create your base plan as limited as you can and say, okay, that is what it is. You create that as limited as you can and go into the user settings and try and adjust the user settings even more tightly. So there may be ways that you can then even limit it more. And then the third option is you do kind of some custom interface, depending on how serious you get about, hey, this is my plan and I want to do it this way. So when I launched Follow Up Genius with Billie Jean, that was what we did. We had a custom UI designs that we were locking down certain features and stuff like that.
Okay. All right, cool. I can let you get on to the next then. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Kurt. And by the way, I do think that high level will get more and more flexible with what features you're including in those base plans here in the future.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. Greg, how are you?
What's up, man? Doing
How are you
good.
doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Been a little sick this week, man. So it's kept me from going out and pressing the
Sorry to hear
flesh.
that.
I
I
didn't
finally
want
feel like I'm back to my
There you
normal
go.
self after like 14 days, man. Ugh.
Man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. But I'm feeling good now, man. So ready to roll.
Good.
My question is about cold calling.
Yeah.
I got this lead magnet for my database reactivation campaign. It's a little video course, to walk them, show them how they can do it themselves if they want to, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of my plan is to go out and prospect with that instead of saying, hey, I can help you do this for whatever, $99 or whatever. I got this course. So my question is, like, for cold calling, like, I know you did a lot of that in the past. So what, like, a good opener, like if I'm calling somebody, like, well, how would I open that conversation?
Man. So, okay. Cold calling sucks. One, two. And so I just preface it with that because I wish that there was some easy magic, whatever that makes it just that much.
Well, I'm hoping that the lead magnet, not selling, giving instead of selling, will help.
Yes.
Some of those wheels.
So here's the best way, the very, very best ways to cold call somebody are in no particular order, but in somewhat order. But I just like, this is kind of off the top of my head. One is you have sent them something cool already, and now you're the person following up on sending them something cool. So literally, I would do these outrageous direct mail campaigns where I would send somebody just the most, these things you could not miss them. So I'm talking free food or, whatever. I used to send people literally a safe, and I would have a safe delivered to their office. And then I would call up and go, I'm the guy who delivered that safe to your office, right?
Right.
You're always going to get a conversation when you do something like that, right? Your success rate goes from 0% to like 90%. So that's number one. And you can tone that down in all kinds of ways. I used to send people my favorite books. So I would send them my favorite business books, and I would have a handwritten note in there saying, here's why I'm sending you this, and I'm going to give you a call. So those types of things, right? An invitation works really well. Invitation is a super easy way to cold call somebody. Hey, Greg, this is Mike with Super Duper Marketing. We're having a free event for business owners at the such and such restaurant in town, which everybody knows that such and such restaurant is an awesome restaurant. And we're going to be providing lunch for you at no cost. Our CEO asked me to invite you personally because of your reputation in the market. And we thought it would be a great opportunity for you to come and network with some other people. That's a great cold call because everybody wants to be invited to something that feels special. So that's a great cold call. Next down would be, hey, Greg, I'm calling because Bob, who mentioned your name and said that I should call. Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, I do know Bob. Bob's a friend. So who the heck are you? And that's, I'll at least take your call. Can continuing to go down then is you have some sort of actually interesting special offer. And the reason why this is so far down amongst all those other things is still because you caught me off guard and it's a sales pitch, right? So, and actually, I'm sorry. Before that, I should have put trigger events. So trigger events are an awesome, awesome way to cold call. So trigger events are, you're able to get a database of real-time new business starts in your market. And so then you call them up and you go, hey, Greg, congratulations. I see that you just, started your new LLC for such and such business. That's fantastic. Hey, what we would love to do to help you get your quick start is we'll set up a website for you at no cost, blah, 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 blah. So it's a trigger event that there's a reason why I'm calling. And then again, it goes down to, okay, now you're just making a sales pitch. Even if it's a special offer, it's a sales pitch.
Right.
And you caught me totally out of, just out of the blue. I picked up my phone and now I'm getting a sales pitch. So the best opener, in my opinion, for a sales pitch is just to come right out and say, hey, Greg, this is Mike from Super Duper Marketing. I know you weren't expecting my call and I don't want to waste your time, so I'll be brief. Here's why I'm calling. And it's not sexy. It's not magic. It's nothing. It's just being respectful of their time, professional, and realizing that you only have 10 seconds before they want to hang up on you. And so you're just getting right to the point. Okay. Now, here's the next most important thing is 95% of people are just going to want to hang up on you and get off the phone. And so it's actually the most important thing is how you handle what's called a brush off objection. Brush off objection is, oh, dude, I just identified you're a salesperson. I stopped listening 3 seconds into it and I'm just waiting for my opportunity to hang up on you, right?
Yeah.
That's a brush off objection. So how you handle brush off objections is actually the thing that's going to increase your numbers more than anything else, except for that first list that I mentioned of doing some cool direct mail or whatever. So how do you handle a brush off objection? 3-step process. You always agree with whatever they said. You always restate your value proposition, and then you always ask a question that should get them talking. So I call up and I say, hey, Greg, this is Mike with Super Duper Marketing. What we do is we help chiropractors like yours grow your revenue by, these proven marketing systems. Greg goes, yeah, sorry, Mike, I don't have any time for that. And I go, I absolutely agree. You don't have time for that. In fact, that's what all of our customers tell us is they don't have time to be marketing experts. That's why they hire us to take care of this stuff for them. Let me ask you, what are you currently doing right now to XYZ? So I'm agreeing with them, restating my value proposition. That's why customers hire us, because they don't have time to do marketing stuff and be marketing experts. They're chiropractors. They want to take care of patients. Let me ask you, what do you do XYZ? Now, there was nothing magical about that either. And still now 90% of people are going to hang up on you, but you went from 95 to 90, which is, you doubled your success rate. And that is what you can do with a decent brush off objection handle is you can literally double your success rate. I was only getting a hold of 5% of people. Now I'm getting a hold of 10% of people. That can change your revenue like crazy, right? So that's really pretty much all I have to say about cold calling.
Okay. I mean, that wouldn't change anything if I'm not like selling. I'm just trying to build a list and giving away this lead magnet. That wouldn't change anything you got there.
I personally would just never do it that way. It's just so much manual effort to give away a lead magnet versus just like running an ad and saying, download the lead magnet. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, time versus money right now. I got a handful of one and
if you have all the time and you want to just give away the lead magnet, then that's so yes, my approach would be that I would call again, I would be very direct, but I would start with essentially the mention of, hey, I know I caught you off guard and your time is very valuable. And I am not trying to sell you anything. I just want to let you know that our company has rolled out such and such free thing for small businesses in the area that's helping them with XYZ. We thought you'd like to have it. If you would, I'll send you a copy at no cost to you. And that's it. I would just try and be super direct about it. Call out the fact that you're not trying to sell them anything right away so that you can try and get, that wall down just a little bit. And then that would be it. And then, let me just get your information. We'll send it right over to you. Thank you so much. It's been great talking with you.
Okay. Yeah,
That's it.
cool. Is there anything like specific for like a DR campaign, like messaging wise, that you would have any advice on? Like,
So
I'm just trying to think of, I got a course showing local business owners, the fastest way they can get customers back in the door, or something like that, that kind of tells them what I'm talking about versus just, hey, I got this course I want to give away or whatever.
100%. Yeah. Sorry, I was misunderstanding what you were asking for. Yes, absolutely. You should say, in the so for a reactivation campaign, I mean, my bullet points would be something along the lines of the easiest revenue to get is already there in your business. You just need to go get to it. We're going to get existing or past leads and customers to come back and spend more money with you. This is the fastest way to generate, new CAC. Like I would just have those bullet points just super, super clear. And just like anything where you're trying to get somebody to opt in, honestly, just the shorter and a little bit more soundbitey, headliney,
Right,
everything
exactly.
is, the more your rates are going to go up in terms of getting people to take it.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, man. That's
Cool.
all I needed from you this week, brother. I appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Great to see you.
All right, man. You too. Have a good
All
one.
right. Thanks, you too. All right, let me go through some more of these questions here in the comments. Let's see here. Gosh, lots of everybody saying hi and everything. That's awesome. I love it. Oh, Jeff says, I've applied for ATP 4 to 5 times and failed. What's the trick? Jeff, I don't know. I would try and contact somebody at High Level and see if there's anything that they're seeing on their end that can help you, because I didn't have any problem at all. So I don't know. Sorry about that. Any Black Friday specials for High Level? Yes, there's gonna be awesome Black Friday specials. You will see all the details here coming out very quickly. I'll be sending you some messages here real fast. But it's essentially, you are getting a big discount if you prepay for High Level. That's the biggest thing to know about it. How do people get personal email? Is it included, or do users need to set up Google Workspace? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking, Julie, there. I'm not sure what you're asking, but if you, I'll just take a guess at it. If you want your users to be able to receive an email that gets forwarded to, another email that they own, yes, they have to set up that email separately, like Google or Yahoo or whatever the heck it is. And then inside of High Level, for every user, you can set up essentially in High Level, kind of whatever email you want, because it's just going in and out of the system. So like if I send you guys an email from High Level today, I can have it come from mikeiscrazy@servicesthatscale.com. Like it essentially doesn't matter. The email is fake anyway, and it's just going in and out of High Level. So it's not really an independent email. But if I wanted that email to then forward to, a personal inbox or something like that, then you would have to have a separate email set up outside of High Level. Okay. Oh, cool. That's awesome. What's up, Daniel? James says, hey, Mike, putting together packages and go High Level, SEO, email, website, and social media packages, having issues with pricing the packages, also need to upgrade to the next level. James, in terms of pricing them, when you say having issues with pricing the packages, I would have to know more about what it is that you're offering. And the main issue there is that you really account for any manual labor in those costs of providing that service, so that you can then come up with the right gross margins for that service. Okay. So because the cost of high level is the cost of high level, it's like it's so basic, right? There's not a lot that you can screw up there, as long as you have markup on your minutes and SMS credits and things like that, right? As soon as you put labor into a service, so like let's say your SEO service, you're gonna spend time manually doing X, Y, and Z for customers. You've got to do your very, very best to try and say, okay, we're going to spend this much time with this customer in this package each month, and it's not going to go over that time. So let's say that that's 1 hour per person, okay, 1 hour per customer, and you need to know the cost to you of that hour and a fully loaded cost, benefits, all that type of stuff. So let's say I've got an employee that I figured out that their hourly rate is $35. And with benefits and all that stuff, that goes up to $50 an hour. Okay. You then need to have a minimum. You should be aiming for a minimum, and I stress that word over and over again for a reason, of 2.5 times that fully loaded cost built into your margins. Okay. So at 2.5 times, let's say it was $100 an hour, 2.5 times would mean I would need to charge $250 for that hour to make it make sense for me. Okay. Most people really screw this up. And this is why most service businesses don't have the margins that they need to really be successful, is because they don't understand the fully loaded cost of their time, right? And they don't understand the then required 2.5 times markup to make margins that make any sense. And that's a minimum. Okay. So this is why, a lawyer that bills $1,000 an hour and you guys think, oh, it's outrageous, $1,000 an hour. Who could possibly justify $1,000 an hour? Well, if you take $1,000 an hour and you divide it, by that 2.5 times metric, or a third. So let's say it's a third, and they're actually making, what would that be? Well, $300 an hour, right? So $300 an hour. If you work out the math on, okay, that person $300 an hour, and there's benefits, and they have to bill X number of hours then every month to make the kind of money that they need to make, and to be able to pay for the staff that works under them and the paralegals that work under them, all that type of stuff. That's the way the math has to work. So you really, really, really got to know the labor component side of what you're going to do. And if you're just getting started, okay, so like you're designing some new services from scratch, you're doing this whole productized service thing, unfortunately, you've just got to do your best to kind of guess. And you've got to manage that and monitor that as you start getting customers to see, ooh, am I wildly off here? And did I screw up my pricing? And I'm guilty. At Everon, my IT services company, the first productized services business I built, I raised my prices 3 times in the first year because I screwed up my estimates. So I get it. It's frustrating. You're not going to get it right the first time, unfortunately. You just got to do your best to try and, determine what that is. So, when you take that approach and you also layer in the fact that you're getting the margin from the tools and things like that from high level, you have your best chance at success because you're getting such great gross margins from the tools side of high level that it gives you some cushion. But that's, that's the way you've got to approach this. Okay. And that 2.5 times is a magic formula. So don't go below that. Okay. James, awesome. Thank you, sir. The upgrade link. So yeah, High Level just rolled out, which is awesome. The ability for us to do, we get commissions now on the 297 upgrade, which means that I can give you all of my bonuses as well when you do the 297 upgrade through me, which is awesome. I've been pestering them for that for literally a year or so, and they just did it to their credit. They got it done, which is awesome. I love it. And if you just go to this, and I just put the link in there, right there, labspecial.com/go unlimited. Okay. And I think actually the only problem with that link right now is it does not have my, I don't think it has my referral info built in there automatically. I got to fix that. But this is what that page will look like. So you put your information in here, and then to get credit for me right here, you just need to make sure and put in the proper info right there. And the proper info is, let me grab that for you. I got to make sure that that is set up properly here going forward. But you want to put in, I will put this in the chat as well. You want to put in this information right here, which is just my affiliate code. And then that will make sure that you're upgrading through me and you get all the bonuses. Okay. Oh, I put in the wrong thing. Hold on. That's right here. So down in that bottom box right there, you just want to make sure. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. Not sharing my damn screen. Gosh, this page is what you will land on right here. And in the bottom there, you just want to make sure and put in that code right there. Okay. So that code will let them know, oh, that's Mike. All right. So that is that. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. And let's see here. Yes, Daryl. Yes. Thank you so much. If you're running any kind of agency service, making it a requirement to use your system, absolutely 100%. There is zero scenario where I would be selling agency services where my system is not built into the service. That is 100% correct. Jasmine, cash flow now, dream later. I help local businesses I like and frequent for years. They know me. It's warmly research how you can help. Cool. I like that. Awesome, James. Let's see here. Where do you think is the best place to start? And do you have a training course to get to 5 to 10K? So 25 to 50 customers at 197. Julie, yes, you should go through my high leverage agency and just put your head down and stay in that. High Leverage Agency is the program that I am designing to do my very best for it to be a roadmap to get you to those kinds of numbers, like 10K a month as fast as possible. And it is also quite complete and will be more complete here very soon. By the way, I haven't announced yet, but for those of you who are High Leverage Agency members, there's a bunch of new content in there. I just haven't announced it yet, but I will send that announcement here really quickly and let you know what all is in there. But yeah, Julie, if you go to, was that Julie? I can't remember. Oh yeah, if you go to High Leverage Agency, so servicesthatscale.com/HLA. That is where you will land. And that is this page right here. And it is specifically for people who are building a business around high level. So it is completely dialed in for that. Okay. And High Leverage Agency, just want to be very, very clear because I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. Everybody that signs up for any of the high level stuff through me gets this included at no cost. Okay. So if you do any upgrades with me, if you do anything, it doesn't matter which plan you're on, I give you the same bonus for everything, for everybody, because I want you guys to have all the resources. If you do that, So do any of those upgrades for me. And that's why I stress this, because we got Black Friday coming up. I would much rather you spend your money on High Level, get everything that you need from High Level, and then get my stuff for free. Right. And so, yes, if you upgrade through any of my stuff, you will get access to this and just about everything else I've ever created at no cost. So if you go to servicesthatscale.com/high level bonus, right, which is this, you will land on this page right here, and it explains to you everything that you get for free with me if you sign up through High Level, which is High Leverage Agency, Moguls, all my foundation training programs, R4 sales system, a bazillion templates, snapshots, everything, all included at no additional cost. So please take advantage of that if you can. That is by far the easiest, most affordable way to get access to all of my stuff. And that would, that makes me happy. You can get everything without spending more money. That's good. Michael, you ready to come on? Awesome. How are you, sir?
I'm good, and I know I'm going to offend several people with my hat, so that's okay. I'm used to it.
You one of
Just-
them. I'm flying up to the 49ers game this weekend. Go
Ah.
Niners.
Just my quick questions for you, but first, before anything, I joined your link on
Thank
High
you.
Level, and for anyone listening and watching, the bonuses are more than worth the price of High Level. Just the customer service on your support staff is excellent, so
Thank
that
you.
alone
I
is
appreciate
worth
it.
it. Yeah, first quick
Thank you.
question. Seems like I'm seeing more and more people saying things like keep the website apart from High Level and keep it on WordPress. In fact, one person said you do not want them on the same platform. What are the pros and cons in your opinion, other than the templates that High Level provides?
Well, so let me say, okay, so the pros of the High Level templates is just like speed and integration, just like super, super easy. Like you're doing everything from inside the High Level platform, like
Mhm.
all that. Just there's this ease and convenience factor there, and an affordability factor, because with WordPress, there's still, you could spend some money on some themes, you could, all that type of stuff, right? So that's the big advantage of using High Level. With WordPress, obviously, it's an established market leader by far. It's got everybody in the world has developed everything for it and all that. So you have more options, more flexibility, all that. You're going to have a lot of customers that are already using WordPress, already familiar with WordPress, so they may want to stick with WordPress. And then the big advantage of having a WordPress website is that if somebody is like adamant of leaving your services, but they need to keep their website, then it's going to be easier to then just take that WordPress website and say, okay, great, you got your WordPress website, good luck to you, right? So pain of disconnect. And let me stress this. I do not believe that there is any situation where you should hold somebody's website hostage. So, do not set up a service where it's like you get a free website as long as you're paying us $297 a month. And then if you ever want to leave, we keep you don't get your website. Sorry, because that's not right. People need to be able to leave with their website. So, leaving with their website, if it's a High Level website, can be more difficult. Or your option is that you say, hey, look, you don't have to do anything else with us, but you're hosting your website with us, and that's how much it costs. Or for us to then move your website over to a new platform, it's a one-time fee of X, $500, whatever, to cover the costs that it's going to take to get the code from that website off of High Level onto WordPress or whatever else that they want. There's going to be some work that just has to happen there.
Well, yesterday was the first client I fired, and his is on a WordPress, and so I have to deal with this and play it out in my head how I need to do it going forward. Create that SOP, for future firings. Thank you for that. Second quick question. So I just launched my first SMS campaign through High Level, about 1,100, 1,200 texts. The bad news is my opt-out rate is 2.54, which is horrendous. I just started seeing texts that came back that said stop because I opt for the opt-out. But everyone opted in via the website, and I follow all the guidelines. I let them know who I am. I said opt out this way. I did everything I should. Any tips that you can think of to avoid on a future campaign? Because High Level already sent an email saying, "Hey, we see you. You've been flagged. Don't do this." But I haven't really done anything wrong. I guess it's just people that forgot that they opted in 6 months ago.
Well, yeah. So, okay. So that's a big thing. If they opted in a while ago, and this is the first time that they've heard from you,
Mhm.
then your your opt-out rate's going to be super high. You're
That
going to
makes
get
sense.
flagged. I mean, so that's one thing. Two, I would only, for me personally, I am not a fan of marketing through SMS unless
Mhm.
it is a really um like an easy offer, like as in, hey, we're hosting a live training, a free training, come to our training.
This is for a
Like,
restaurant. So this is coming up this weekend. Tomorrow we have the karaoke party type of thing. So it's a very last minute. This is coming up.
oh, you did an SMS on behalf of a customer.
Yeah.
So this is a
Oh, sorry, I didn't
customer's
say that.
campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Got it. And it was a restaurant, and you
Mhm.
marketed something coming up for their restaurant to
Yeah.
their existing. Got it. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Yep.
Okay. Well, yes. So time from when they opted in would
Mhm.
be huge. That's a
Mhm.
major factor. Based on that, if I was doing this in the future, I would do a smaller number of people first. So I'd send it to like 100 people, take like 100 people from the list and send the message and see how that goes. So that you could see what the rates would be like.
Maybe that's my
Um,
mistake. You brought that up. I'm sorry to interrupt you, only because I did send out about 150, 175 every 30 minutes because it was like a shit. I got to get it out quick.
yeah,
The leader didn't tell me. And when people say business owners are busy, they're very busy. You're like
yeah,
last on their list, but maybe
especially in a
that's the thing is I
restaurant.
need to spread it. Yeah, I need to spread it out more, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Those would be the big things. And then obviously, like whatever the content of the message is,
Mhm.
needs to be as attractive as possible so that somebody doesn't go, "Oh, why did I just get this?"
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
I
Okay.
mean, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, people take messages that come SMS very seriously, right? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of like it feels like that's my last private space.
Yeah, I agree.
So any marketing message I get to my SMS, I'm usually irritated.
Yeah, but then again, my thing is they opted into it, but 6 months ago. So yeah,
Yeah.
I have to keep that in mind.
And then what kind of
Okay.
so the only other thing I would say too is if there is, and this doesn't make sense for a lot of businesses, but for a lot of businesses it makes sense, and I don't see people capitalizing on it, is if it's a business where you could send what seems like a personal message so that it doesn't feel so marketing-ish.
Mhm.
So as an example, if it was a restaurant that was a little bit higher end restaurant, and I got a message that seemed like it was personally written, and it was like, "Hey, Mike, this is John. I'm the general manager at Born and Raised Steakhouse. Um, it's been a little while since we've seen you in, and we've got some new menu items I'd love to tell you about if you're interested. And if
Mhm.
you are, we'd love to have you come in and do something special for you." Right.
Mhm.
So like if it felt like that instead of like, here's this, marketing
Yeah.
campaign, like
Yeah.
I think that restaurants in particular, like hospitality type businesses that aren't taking advantage of the strategy I just outlined, are missing a
Mhm.
huge opportunity. Because I go spend a lot of money at restaurants, and those restaurants are terrible in a lot of cases about a personal touch. I got to
Yeah.
tell you, there's this steakhouse that just opened up right down the street from me, and they are getting so much crazy word of mouth already
Mhm.
because every single person that eats there gets
Mhm.
a live follow up phone call. Every single person gets a live follow up phone call from the steakhouse asking, "Hey, we saw you tried our blah, 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 blah. What did you
Mhm.
think? How was it? Anything that we can do next time for you to take care of you better? Great. We'd love to see you back in." Personal touch. And they
Mhm.
charge the steakhouse's outrageous markup. Like it's outrageous, even by
Mhm.
excellent steakhouse terms. It's like really high. But if I went to any decent higher end restaurant and they got my phone number and I got a message that was just a go high level message. It was actually just a
Mhm.
just a template, but I don't really know that as a customer.
Right.
That says, "Hey, Mike, this is the general manager over at such and such restaurant. Thrilled that you came in. I hope you had a great meal. If you didn't, please let me know. And next time you're in, please ask for me. I'd love to say hi." And that was it. I would be like, "Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What a great experience," right? And the next time I go in there, I'd be like, "Hey, is such and such general manager in here? That's awesome." It would make me feel so much better about going back there and spending more
Mhm.
money. But almost no small businesses are taking advantage of that. I think it's a
No,
huge
I've never
opportunity.
heard
So I
that.
think a
Yeah.
message like that, the opt-in rates are going to be much, much, much lower.
I'll consider that. That's a good idea. On the bright side, real quick, just before I end, one more thought. On the bright side of that campaign, I asked my daughter, she works at that restaurant at night. I said, "How did it go?" Knowing in the back of my head that I sent that. She goes, "We haven't been this busy in months."
That's
I was
awesome.
like, yes. I
Yes,
sent it to the
that's
manager and he
awesome.
goes, "Yeah. Oh, it
And
was busy."
that's,
So good.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the point. That's
So
awesome. Good for
appreciate it, sir.
you.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
All right, let's see here. Oh, that was the one we just talked about. Your comments were in leadership, high standards, pushing customers. That is big. I'm concluding this is the magic key to truly have leverage. Certainly, men alone. Yes, absolutely, Sean. Yes, if you can assume a leadership role in your community, right? I mean, just look at high level, right? Yes, they're providing all kinds of great software and everything, but there's all kinds of software options out there. But what have they done? They've created a community, they've created a voice of leadership, they've created an event that people want to go to, right? Your version of that will always put you in a totally different position than your competitors in your industry who are just selling the thing, right? Always. Great book to you teach get. Oh, yes. Awesome. I love it, Lisa. Next recommendation would be The Secrets of Question-Based Selling. The Secrets of Question-Based Selling. I think those two books are by far and away the two best sales books that you can own. Excuse me. And this one is so stinking cheap, and you can read it honestly, read it in a day and get so much value out of it. Secrets of Question-Based Selling, that top one right there. And honestly, it goes into a level of depth in terms of techniques and strategies and stuff that most of us will never ever need to get the benefit that we want to get from the book. So you don't need to there's gonna be a whole second half of the book that it's still good to go through, but you don't have to really study it to get the value out of it. There is just a couple of things in there that are just so brilliant that will absolutely move the needle for you. And particularly if you don't know that you need this book, you need this book. And what I mean by that is that if you are somebody that does the show up and throw up, right? Which is what most salespeople do, is they just start, "Oh, we can do this and we can do that. We're so much better about this and so much better about that," right? That is the wrong way to sell. And you are unselling lots of opportunities and you don't realize it, versus the person that can just ask good questions to get the prospect talking. Okay. One of the most important things that it teaches you in that book is a framework for what kinds of questions in what order. I think that that's literally so stinking valuable. And what I mean by that, and this is what a lot of junior salespeople do that really screws them up, is they know they're supposed to start with rapport building, right? And they jump right into asking some questions that are inappropriate when they haven't really established rapport with me yet. So I'll never forget, I was only in my early 30s, so it wasn't like I was some old man or anything, but I was building Everon. going a million miles an hour. I let some salesperson come in and come talk to me. He comes in, he's probably like 22, and he's like overly slick, right? He's got the perfect suit, the perfect tie. Like, you know, he'd gone to the, you know, Wolf of Wall Street, you know, school of sales or whatever, right? And he comes in and he immediately sits down all cocky. And like the second question out of his mouth is, come on, Mike, how much money are you making? Right? Like, tell me what you're, you know, and he's like serious. He's like trying to get me to tell him like how much money I'm making. I was just like, dude, get out of my office. Like, what are you doing? This is terrible. Right. And he was asking a question that he could have asked me later if he had developed a rapport with me, if he had got me talking about my problems and my goals. There is a point later in that conversation where he could have gone, hey, Mike, you told me you're here right now and you told me you want to get here right now. I can see it seems like things are a little crazy around here and you're stressed, you know. I was like, what, you know, where are you at right now? Are you making enough money to make ends meet? You know, you in between 100 and 200 grand, or are you, you know, more than that, less than that? Like, you could give me a range and I could actually start talking to him about that. Right. And be like, yeah, dude, no, I'm not freaking enough. I'm not making enough money. I live in Boston. I've got 2 new kids. Like, I'm paying for school. Like, this is not good, you know? And you can get there. You can get there. But if you come in right out of the gate asking the wrong types of questions, and so what are the right types of questions? It teaches you this framework. But the first types of questions that you should ask are just status questions, right? Status questions don't have emotion in them, right? So a status question is, are you currently running any sort of Facebook ads? Yes or no. It's just a status question. Yes or no. There's no emotion in that, right? Versus an implication question or an impact question later, right? Would be like something like, I ask you, hey, Mike, did you hit your targets this last year for X, Y, and Z? And I go, no, we didn't hit our targets. And then I go, well, how does that feel? You know, or how did that impact your life? You know, like, it's one thing to not hit your business targets, but I know you're an entrepreneur. Like, this hits home. You know, how's this going for you? Right. And then I start saying, dude, it's not going well. I had to cancel my family vacation. Now we're getting into like pain. Right. But you got to know how to ask questions to get somebody there. And that's the secret. So, secret of question-based selling. Go get that. Sean says, sorry, question got missed regarding newsletter. You wrote article plus a curated article. Do you mix them in? Does the curated article link straight out to the origin? Yes. Yes. Do I have curated in my list for there San Diego? No, usually not, because we create so much content that I'm just sending people back to my website. But I think curation is an excellent model, and you should absolutely not be, you should not discount the value of your newsletter just because it's not your original content. Curation is an awesome newsletter strategy. So yes, if you curate into good bets from somebody else, it then links out to that source. Okay. Robots are already in the operating room. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh man, don't get me going down that rabbit hole, because I love that stuff and I'm studying it like crazy, and so many amazing things happening. My niche will be based around the homeowner: plumbing, HVAC, landscaper, builder, glazer, installation, whatever's awesome. That's cool. Jasmine, what's up? Good to see you. Does it matter if you're personally interested in the industries you're going after? Jasmine, it is, I think, more important for some people than others. Some people, it can just be like, I just need to do what I need to do to make money. Okay. Most people, I have found that once you start making some money, then that wears off. And then you start getting a little more personally, you start to get a little more emotional, if you will, about exactly who you're working with and why, and is it fulfilling and all that type of stuff. It's a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? When you're having a hard time putting food on the table, like, I don't care. I just got to put food on the table. When you have food on the table and you start to have more choices, then I don't like these jokers that I work with every day, right? Turns out roofers are a bunch of a-holes, and they're rude to me. And, that's a real thing. So I personally would suggest that you try to find an industry that you personally have some interest in. I think not only will it make your life better, but I think it will make your service better, because you will do a better job for them if you actually care about them and you're interested in what they're doing and the problems that they have, like at a more personal level. Okay. And let's see here. Planning to get a white label app? Do you have a referral for that too? I'm sorry, Vic, are you referring to the SaaS upgrade or specifically to the white? I don't have anything specifically for the white label app itself, or for the SaaS upgrade. Yes. I can get you an upgrade link for that for sure. Yes. Jeff, high leverage agency is a specific path. I am doing my darndest to make it as specific of a path as I can. And I will continue to do that here in the months ahead. Because I understand some people really need that. And yes, if you are starting from scratch, it is a fire hose. And I honestly, I just don't think that there is any good way around that. I think that the best thing that I can do for you is I can give you some slices. So as an example, just sell websites with this first, and then we'll expand into some other services, right? But then you can like bite off a specific track and focus on that. And I think that can help get you past that overwhelm faster, right? And get you into action mode. But ultimately, I think it's important to stress to everybody coming into this business, coming into high level for the first time, all that stuff. You need to drink from the fire hose. You need to throw yourself into it 100%. Whatever that 100% is for you. Some of us have different, time availability and stuff, but whatever that is, I highly recommend that you just have to have that mindset. Okay. Yeah, I think Julie, that's a great suggestion. Michael, going back to the text topic. Yes, anytime you're collecting somebody's information, sending them some sort of immediate offer so that they get a reward for doing that, I think is super important. And that's why, reactivation campaigns can be dangerous if you're just, SMSing somebody's list that hasn't, had any contact in a long time. What are your thoughts on the IVR and MCTV for small business? Does it bring value? If yes, yeah. Does it bring value? For sure. I think that IVR and missed call text back is something that we should be stressing for every customer. Absolutely. And why some of them don't use it? A lack of awareness, lack of understanding of the impact on their business, lack of understanding of options of how they could even solve the problem, perceived cost of solving the problem. I don't think that there's any logical reason why anybody would not take advantage of those things if they understood the solution that you could offer them, the price and all that stuff. It just doesn't make any sense. Salon client wants to do a 10% off products as a reactivation campaign. Weak, lame, totally lame. It's yeah. If you're not going to make a sexy offer, don't make an offer. Honestly, that's lame. And the problem is, Jasmine, is a lot of small businesses don't understand that they need to do something sexier, and they're so short-sighted. You could say to them, hey, look, if you sell them some salon products and they like the salon products, they're going to buy more salon products and they're going to come into your salon more and all that type of stuff. They can't get over the fact that on this one transaction, I may not make money, and that's just wrong. They're just not strategic. So it's a tough one. Is the AI conversation bot only in the 497 plan? I believe that that is the case. Although I've got to say, Gustavo, that I have just asked for today. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's so funny because I literally just asked this morning. I said, hey guys, do you have a good up-to-date like plan comparison thing? Because it's confusing and it's gotten more confusing lately. And to their credit, they just wrote me back. Like literally, I just clicked on the link and I'll pull up what they sent me. But they just wrote me back and said, no. They said transparently, we are not doing a good job of that. So let's just take a look at it here real quick though, Gustavo, and see what we can see. Everything in unlimited plus SaaS mode, plus email phone, AI rebilling with markup, split testing, advanced API access, everything in starter, unlimited sub accounts. Yes. So it looks like AI only available in Pro, which would make sense. It looks like, yeah, it looks like everything only available in Pro. I mean, I'm sorry, AI only available in Pro. But they need to do a much better job of this. And this is, but you can see here, you got SaaS mode. That's a big one. Email, phone, text, AI rebilling with markup versus 297 phone and email rebilling without markup. There is no, in my opinion, I will just throw this out there. There's no reason once you start getting customers not to go to 497. Just go there as soon as you can possibly afford it. Okay. And to me, that means if you have any money saved up and you're not in an immediate cash crunch, go to Pro, because every customer you're going to make more money with because of the markup, right? If you're like, dude, I don't have 2 nickels to rub together, then okay, stay on 297 until you have even just a couple of customers, and then go to Pro, because you're immediately going to make more money on those couple of customers with Pro, with the ability to do the markup of the email, phone, text, and AI. Okay, so just get there as fast as you can. Oh yeah. Sean, but curated links directly out, what benefit? That brings attention to your own articles, plus keeps attention to newsletter. Well, yeah, obviously, if you have a media site like I do that you can just send all your own content, great. But what benefit? Let's not be short-sighted about, like, I understand like some people go, well, but now you're sending all your traffic to somebody else. Well, yeah, but you've got the attention of people that are reading your newsletter and going, this is valuable to me. These people send me good content, so I'm going to keep opening and reading this newsletter. That's the win. So now you could stick an ad in those newsletters whenever you want. You could, sell sponsorship to those newsletters. You can make sure that there's always something leading to your business first in that newsletter, right? So don't be overly greedy about where those links are going. Just be 100% focused on, is my newsletter valuable to my reader? That's 100% your first objective. Okay. Pablo says, hey, Mike. Hey, Pablo. Do you think it's a good idea to get a professional liability insurance for our business when starting? If yes, do you recommend any? Yes, I think it is. No, I do not recommend any. You should be able to get it for dirt cheap through a ton of different options, Pablo. But it should be really, really, really cheap because it's a low liability business. So, but yes, do recommend that you get it. Is there a difference between signing up with your link, let's say now, versus after the Go High Level Black Friday deal? Not really. Giovanni, and the reason why I say not really is even if you sign up, so let's say you signed up for the 97 today, okay? As soon as Black Friday comes out, you're going to be able to upgrade and take advantage of one of those Black Friday deals if you want to. Still, it's an upgrade versus a straight new purchase. But it's essentially you're going to have the same option. So it doesn't really matter. Let me forget, where do I find the free report download in the R4 sales system? It's just right in living in Coachella Valley. I love that. It's just right inside here. Hold on. Let me just go to, let me just show you here real quick. And if you are in the, actually, what do I need to show you here? Sorry. Let me go to our course. And if you are, I'm just going to show you High Leverage Agency first in case you're in that. So if you go in High Leverage Agency, you go down to templates, scripts, and frameworks, and you go to R4 right here, the attention engine funnel filler section. This is all R4 stuff. And so you've got a variety of versions of that free report, depending on how much you want to edit it or give design files to somebody or something like that. The simple version of it. Oh, let me make sure I'm sharing my screen again. Hold on, sorry. This is in High Leverage Agency. If you scroll down into the into the template section, let me just go back through that real quick. So it's at the very bottom. There's a lot of stuff in High Leverage Agency. So if you scroll down to I just went past the header right here, templates, scripts, and frameworks. Okay. And then you go down in that into the funnel fillers, attention engine funnel fillers right here. Then you're going to find your R4 stuff right there. Okay. If you are in the R4 course directly, let me go to that. And the short answer here is that it's inside of the memberships. So it's not like inside of the snapshot, it's inside of the memberships for the course. So if we go into R4 sales system, let me share this one. If you're in R4 sales system directly, you would again go to, down here, attention engine funnel fillers, same stuff right here. Okay. So living in Coachella Valley, hopefully that helps you out. Let's see here. Vic said, "Is it planning to get white label?" Yeah, Vic, I don't have not directly to the white label app. Like, I don't know if you're on SaaS yet. If you're on SaaS, if you're not on SaaS, Pro, excuse me, then you could upgrade through that with me, and then you get and then add the white label app. But I don't have a link just for the white label app specifically. Yes, absolutely, Sean. Cool. Probably always question, what is SaaS mode? Oh, okay, cool. So, Julie, this is important. SaaS is, let me get over to the configurator real quick here. Okay. So this is inside of the agency dashboard of High Level. And this just recently changed. So you can add some pretty cool stuff here. But you can create your own packages and pricing plans with specific capabilities for each of those. And then you can sell it as if it's your own software as a service. So in other words, they'll be able to go to a page, choose their plan, put in a credit card, and buy this stuff from you, right? So, we want to place plan. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. So then you will be able to, so I could say, this is a $997 or $9,970 a year. And, oh gosh, sorry guys. So we are now in the SaaS configurator. This is at the agency level. And I will show you what I did here to get to this in just one moment. Let me just go ahead and finish this up and I'll show you. So what I'm doing though, is I am building a new package using HighLevel's configurator. So I will now have my own custom configuration of HighLevel that somebody can buy by putting in their credit card and they get access. And so I can say, hey, with this account, you get a maximum users of 10. Okay. And then you get a maximum number of contacts of 50,000. Yeah. 5,000. We'll do 99999, highest we can go apparently. And then you will hit next. And then over here, you can say, hey, what is going to be included in this package? Okay. And this one says everything included in premium because of the positioning that I created. I created this as my most premium package. So it's saying it's a level above that package. So you can literally, decide like, okay, what are all the things that I want in here? And then in this case, I want to add communities too. That was the only thing that wasn't available. So I'm adding communities to it. I can also add a specific snapshot to it so that when they create their account, it's already got that snapshot loaded in. I can determine the trial period I want to add. I can add credits for email, telephone, SMS, all that type of stuff in here. And then I can determine what I want my rebilling rates to be, my profit on all these different services specific to this package. So in other words, now and this is the first page that I would have showed you. If you come right to the SaaS configurator, this is what you see. So you can create these separate packages. And I believe now that they are letting you create up to 20 specific packages. So it essentially just truly puts you into the software as a service business where somebody puts in their credit card. And then based on the package that you create, they're getting those benefits, they're getting those markup rates, rebilling rates, all that type of stuff automatically. So it essentially takes away any need for you to try and do any sort of manual billing of anything, tracking of anything. And that's why I'm saying you really you should be on that as soon as you can possibly be on it, because it's going to make you so much more money when you can really specifically manage, here's how I'm rebilling for these things and marking up these things and all that type of stuff, and have it just be automatic. Okay. So yes, you want to get in there. What about the sales cycle when you target small businesses? You are prospecting to get a meeting and then sell them solutions in the meeting. Yeah. So yes, the sales cycle with small businesses, that is, so everything is an it depends answer, right? So it depends. If you are doing excellent marketing and you're generating inbound leads based on the marketing that you're putting out there, and you've got a lower price foot in the door offer, then very often what you can do is you can get somebody to come to you and sign up right away for that offer because it's simple to understand, it's low cost, you've made it easy to cancel if they want to, all of those things. And you brought them in through marketing, so they're pre-sold. Okay. Then you can get somebody in and get them to just sign up for something, right? If you are not doing that kind of marketing and you're just doing outbound prospecting, well, now you are truly hitting somebody cold. So you should expect that if you're hitting somebody cold, you are going to have a multi-step process. The first call is, hey, I'm just interested to see, do you recognize that you have these certain pains and you're looking for a solution? And if so, are you open to another conversation? Great. So then you're trying to set that next conversation. In between those first conversations, maybe you're sending them some information to look at, that type of thing. Then you get on the next call. On that next call, you're doing a more strategy call conversation where you're asking them questions, getting, their pains identified, all that type of stuff, and then introducing solution. And then depending again on the complexity of your offer and price point and all that, you could make your pitch at the end of that call, or you may have to have another meeting, right? And you can tell maybe by the way I'm saying, and then you have to have another meeting. I don't want you to have to do that. So, my opinion is that you should be doing as much inbound marketing as you possibly can, putting out good content, all that good stuff, and bringing people in so that your sales process is as easy and brief as possible, because the cost of selling is a major factor when you're selling to small businesses. Your prices when you're selling to small businesses can only go so high. They can only pay so much. So you have to manage your costs aggressively. And the cost of selling is one of, if not the biggest cost in your business. And so you've got to be, very careful about that. So, that is essentially though, how it works. And ultimately, especially when you're just getting started, it's going to be a combination of those two things. Like, over time, you will get more and more and more people who know about you, who know about your reputation. And so you're going to get more inbound leads that are already pre-sold to some extent. And so it's going to get easier. Your sales cycle is going to get shorter. It's going to get faster. It's going to get cheaper, everything. At the very beginning, though, it's generally more of a pushing the train out of the station, and it's more costly, more time consuming, all that. And then it kind of blends and then goes more towards the easy side over time. Okay. How are you doing with the phone number verification process? Has it made you sell things slower now in SaaS since it takes time to verify the number? Do you have a good process? It's causing delays for me. Nah, I mean, yeah, it's reality. It is just reality now, Vic. I don't have a specific process though. That is, I'm using. So first of all, I would say use Lead Connect, the Lead Connect service from HighLevel instead of going directly to Twilio, and just take advantage of all of their system to be able to help you manage that process. That's, to me, that's the number one thing. Other than that, I'm not doing anything special. Okay. Lots of good questions, everybody. We are over 2 hours, and I do have my appointment to run to, so I got to get going here. Thank you very much, everybody. Lots of great questions. I love seeing everybody in the community here. Thank you so much for spending some time with me on Friday. I know that you've got all kinds of things to be doing, and so I hope that this was valuable for you. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to post them in the communities, and I will do my best to answer them there. And we will see you on future calls. We've got more office hours coming up here between now and the end of the year. There will be some modified schedule during the holidays and stuff like that, because I take time off during the holidays, and I want you guys to do that as well. But I also will probably spring up and do some spontaneous office hours here and there too, where I can fit them into my schedule to make sure I'm trying to help you out before the new year as well. I know this is a time when people want to make a big push on trying to get things done and set for the year, so I want to help you there as much as I can. Stay on the lookout for Black Friday offers coming up here real quick. And thank you so much for being a part of the community. Thank you so much for your business. I always appreciate it. And we will see you on a next call. All right. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Michael. Awesome. We'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Thank you, Pablo. Thank you, Brittany.